Who was Jin Sakai? A ghost, a warrior, a legend. But was he real? Today, we dive deep into the truth behind the Ghost of Tsushima, examining the real history, the samurai code, and how Sucker Punch blurred the lines between reality and myth. Jin Sakai, the protagonist of Ghost of Tsushima, is introduced as a noble samurai of the Sakai clan, trained in the code of Bushido, loyal to his uncle Lord Shimura, and committed to honor above all else. But when the Mongols invade Tsushima in 1274, everything changes. Jin watches his fellow samurai get slaughtered at Komoda Beach. With his uncle captured and his island burning, Jin realizes that the samurai code cannot win this war. So he breaks it. He becomes the ghost. But is this transformation based on historical truths? Did a Ghost of Tsushima really exist? Now, the game is loosely based on a very real event, the first Mongol invasion of Japan, specifically the Battle of Tsushima in 1274. The Mongols under Kublai Khan launched an amphibious assault with roughly 15,000 men, including Korean and Chinese conscripts. Tsushima, a small island between Korea and Japan, was the first line of defense. In real life, Tsushima's defense was led by Sō Sukekuni, a local samurai lord. He and his small force fought bravely, reportedly with just 80 warriors, but were overwhelmed and killed. The island was pillaged, civilians slaughtered, and the samurai were eventually defeated. So no, there was no Jin Sakai, but Sō Sukekuni is arguably the real-world mirror. Like Jin, he stood as the last line of resistance against impossible odds. But where Jin survives and rises as a legend, Sō Sukekuni died a warrior's death on day one. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Ghost of Tsushima portrays the Bushido code, which includes honor, loyalty, duty as the foundation of Jin's upbringing. But historically, Bushido wasn't fully codified until centuries later, during the Edo period in the 1600s, that is over 300 years after the Mongol invasion. So while Jin's internal struggle between honor and survival makes for compelling drama, it is partly a modern lens on medieval warriors. Still, the core conflict, that is tradition versus innovation, is timeless. Jin's decision to use stealth, poison, and assassination mirrors the real tension between the idealized samurai code and the gritty realities of war. By the end, Jin betrays Bushido not out of selfishness but to protect his people. In doing so, he redefines what it means to be a warrior that is powerful and very human. Now, while Jin Sakai is fictional, the idea of a legendary, dishonored warrior fighting from the shadows isn't new. In Japanese folklore, figures like Minamoto no Yoshitsune were known for their unconventional warfare and tragic destinies. Yoshitsune, a revered military genius from the 12th century, was betrayed by his own brother and hunted as a criminal. Like Jin, he became a legend in exile. Even the ninja, often romanticized today, were real historical operatives who used stealth, disguise, and assassination, much like the ghosts. The ninja emerged from disenfranchised samurai, ronin, and covert agents who did what the samurai couldn't, that is, fight in the shadows. So while Jin Sakai may not be a historical figure, he is a spiritual blend of ronin, ninja, and fallen samurai traditions, all wrapped into one tragic hero. But despite being a fictional narrative, Ghost of Tsushima is lauded for its historical accuracy in environment and culture. The developers consulted Japanese historians and artists to faithfully recreate samurai armor, weaponry and etiquette, Buddhist temples and Shinto shrines, Mongol battle tactics including the use of flaming arrows and psychological warfare, haiku writings, bamboo carton, and traditional music. Even the Tsushima dialect was researched, though the characters speak standard Japanese in the original version for accessibility. So, while Jin's story is fictional, the world he lives in feels very real. And in the end, Jin Sakai becomes a legend because he defied the samurai code not to shame it, but to transcend it. He evolves beyond the rigid ideas of honor, embracing a new kind of heroism, one rooted in sacrifice, empathy, and survival. And perhaps that's why Ghost of Tsushima resonates so deeply. It is not just a samurai game, it is a story about what it means to protect, even when it costs everything. Jin may not be in the history books, but his spirit echoes through every tale of rebellion, every war fought in silence, and every warrior who put people above pride. So no, Jin Sakai wasn't real, but he could have been, and that is what makes his legend unforgettable. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye bye for now.